Shangri-La Mactan Resort is the finest luxury resort in Cebu. Located on a beautiful private beach surrounded by lush tropical gardens that is ideal for families, boasting an adventure zone, an indoor playground, and more. But then, just like to others, their journey tackles starting a new business venture wherein entrepreneurs should make sure they're complying with all the legal obligations running it. Before its resort has known and introduced to the public, there are a range of legal requirements that this one complies, and startups, including financial regulations, tax obligations, and employment laws, will make them sure to their established new company, attaining all its legal responsibilities so they can freely get back to focusing and growing their business. But to make it be properly understood, here are the things that they worked on before getting their permit. First, they create an LLC or corporation. The first legal requirement that they eyed on is the need to meet as a new business owner, which means choosing the business structure of their company. They choose between forming an LLC or a corporation. So this certain spot obtains a corporation, which offers the greatest level of personal protection from liability out of all business structure and files separate income tax on their profits. Next, they registered their business name. So once they have decided on the business structure, they registered their business name. First, they choose a name that reflects their spot and make sure it hasn't already been claimed. Next, they applied for a federal tax ID number. Their federal tax ID identification number is known as an employer identification number or EIN, and that allows them to legally hire employees, pay federal taxes, apply for business licenses, and open a business bank account. It's essential if you plan on any of the following: hiring and paying employees, filing employer tax returns, operating as a corporation, and using a tax deferred pension plan. They also eyed on to the requirements for resorts. First is anchored to the Section 7, they classified onto what type of resort it is. So the Shangri-La Mactan Resort is categorized as a beach resort which is located along a seashore and is classified as a Class AAA resort that is anchored to the purposes of acquisition. And they also referred to the Section 9, that is requirements for a Class AAA resort. So the following are the minimum requirements for the operation and maintenance of the said resort. First is the location and environment. The resort is situated in a suitable location free of noise, atmospheric, and marine pollution. Next is the parking. So parking space with parking security is provided free to guests. Facilities and room accommodation. The resort has its rooms, facilities, and amenities equivalent to those of a first-class hotel. Public washrooms. So they must also provide a clean and adequate public toilet and bathroom for male and female, provided with sufficient hot and cold running water, toilet paper, soap, hand towel, or hand dryer. Sports and recreational facilities. They must also offer at least four sports and recreational facilities. Then conference and convention facilities. So their conference or convention facilities must be attached with toilets. And lastly, related to the Section 9 requirements for a Class AAA resort, the Shangri-La Mactan Resort must eye on to the employee facilities. And lastly, the Shangri-La Mactan Resort complies the general rules on the operation and management of resorts in accordance to the Section 13 before getting a permit to operate. First is the maintenance and housekeeping. So maintenance of all sections of the resort shall be in acceptable standard and should be a continuing basis, taking into consideration the quality of materials used as well as its upkeep. Next is the lifeguard and security. The resort shall provide the services of a sufficient number of well-trained lifeguards, duly accredited by either the Philippine National Red Cross, the Water Life Saving Association of the Philippines, or any recognized organization training or promoting safety objectives in adequate security whenever there are guests. Next is the medical services. The resort also provides the services of a physician, either on call or a full-time basis, depending on their volume of operation and accessibility to hospital or medical centers. In addition to that, the Shangri-La Mactan Resort also must employ adequate first aid to have completed a course in first aid duly certificate or certified by the National Red Cross or any organization accredited by the same. Next is the firefighting facilities. Firefighting facilities must be provided in accordance to the Fire Code of the Philippines. So that's the requirements, the legal requirements that the Shangri-La Mactan Resort had fulfilled before given a permit to operate. Thank you.